Caitlin Huey-Burns joins us now. She's a reporter for Real Clear Politics and a CBSN political contributor. So good to have you today.
Hi,
Thank you.
Good to see you. Thanks.
So let's start with this. Headline in the Washington Post today is Trump's climate decision. After fiery debate, he stayed where he's always been. What do you think this says about his ability to evolve in his decisions after he receives information? Because we have seen him change his positions drastically in other situations like NAFTA and NATO, but here we are. He's stuck to this one.
Exactly. This is a campaign promise delivered for Donald Trump. So you talk to Republicans and they say this speaks directly to his base of supporters. And this comes at a time where his approval rating is hovering at a historic low for new presidents. So this was very much speaking to his base, who likes this kind of America First rhetoric, who likes this idea of, not getting involved in kind of global agreements. And this is a base that also likes President Trump unraveling a lot of what the Obama administration did in terms of what they perceive as regulations. And so you have that part of the party excited about this. But you also have this really interesting business divide. And in some ways, that also speaks to some of the campaign messages that Donald Trump spoke to, which is, not going to be beholden to big business and that kind of thing. So that's a really interesting divide. Then you have some national security kind of open-minded Republicans who are saying, we are concerned about what this means in terms of our role in the world. And so there are a couple different elements to consider here when you're assessing the political fallout. Look, this speaks directly to what Republicans in elections have been talking about. They don't like these kind of global agreements that have been made. They don't like a lot of the Obama administration regulations, and they want the president to be focused on jobs. Now, you do have others who make the argument, especially in the business community, that, look, this actually could stifle domestic energy production as it pertains to being able to sell it on the global market. And also, you have businesses who have really tapped into new technology and new energy sources as a way to kind of advance and prepare for the future. And they're making the argument that, look, that we're pulling away from the climate accord isn't going to bring jobs back in those, coal and other sectors. And so why don't we focus on the future? So while Republicans are thinking kind of about the next election, and this won't really make that big of a difference, Democrats are then saying that they think this will be more kind of a rallying cry for them. It remains to be seen. I mean, we didn't really see an impact of climate on the last election, so we'll wait for the midterms and the presidential election. As you mentioned, 2020 is when the withdrawal really actually happens.
Well, so that's what it is here. I mean, basically Paris will be on the ballot for 2020? It
could potentially. I mean, it depends how both sides craft the argument and whether there are other events, of course, that intervene. But climate is a very interesting issue because it does have a rallying effect for both sides in some ways, for the liberal base, environmentalists, and for conservatives from the regulatory angle. So it will be interesting to watch. This certainly kind of keeps it on the radar. And of course, we have the president saying, look, we may renegotiate. We may do something related to this. So we'll kind of wait and see. He was trying to parse some words there.
Yeah, he even couched it a little bit by saying maybe we tweak this, we re-enter the deal, to which, France, Germany, England said, yeah,
not happening.
Not happening.
Right.
Something I thought that was interesting, and you're touching on this, on how businesses are now saying, okay, we've got to step up. Cities, we've heard from so many mayors, governors. I heard that the California governor, Jerry Brown, is already on his way to China as we speak to speak with Chinese leaders about what California is doing to move ahead. I mean, I find that really interesting now. I mean, this is really like all of these different entities have to now really take this on. Something that Michael Bloomberg wrote in a draft letter to the UN Secretary General, and I just want to quote this here. He said, the bulk of the decisions which drive U.S. climate action in the aggregate are made by cities, states, businesses, and civil society. Collectively, these actors remain committed to the Paris Accord. That seems all well and good, but can these American entities truly move forward to hit these goals without the backing of the federal government?
Well, it's a great question, and there are ways, and proponents of that say, look, the Paris Accord hasn't necessarily lowered emissions. I mean, emissions coming from the U.S. have decreased slightly without necessarily the Paris Accord. And remember, this was kind of an agreement, a non-binding agreement. There's also a reason that the president didn't send this to Congress, because it probably wouldn't have been approved. So it will be fascinating to watch, as you mentioned, governors and mayors making this a priority and kind of stepping up to the plate here. It was also interesting when you hear the words coming from abroad, the French president talking about the American government, not necessarily the U.S. So that will be really interesting to see kind of how this continues to play out in that way.
Right, the dichotomy is really interesting there.
Exactly.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. We're hearing from Russian President Vladimir Putin, who is weighing in today on the investigation into Russian election meddling, calling it, quote, gossip, and suggesting that evidence of hacking was fake. Let's take a listen.
Even in those reports, there is no specific evidence, no facts, just assumptions, allegations, and conclusions based on the allegations, nothing more. You know, if there is something specific, concrete, we could discuss that. Like in one of the entities I previously used to work for, they said, we need all the evidence, addresses, all the names and the surnames. Provide all that to us. With respect to independent sources, there are no independent sources in this world.
So, do you think his comments have any effect on the investigation?
Well, what's really interesting when he was talking about, who knows who, but anybody can hack into things, that kind of reminds me of a quote from the Republican candidate, now President Donald Trump, saying, who knows, it may be a 400-pound hacker in their room, right? So that's kind of interesting here. Next week, as we know, Comey is supposed to testify, and the administration is talking about perhaps trying to invoke executive privilege. They haven't been quite clear about whether they'll do that. But what's interesting, and as we've seen from other testimony regarding the investigation, is that the president is very vocal on Twitter and elsewhere, kind of trying to bring down the person who is going to be testifying, trying to kind of smear them in a way. We saw that with Sally Yates. I'm really wondering how he's going to treat this Comey testimony next week, what kind of counter-programming he'll provide to that, if any. And that will be very telling.
Absolutely. We'll keep an eye out. All right, Caitlin Huey-Burns, thank you so much.
Thank you.